Is Cam Rising, good old Cameron,
the Campster,
is Cam Rising a legitimate Heisman Trophy candidate? I think he is. I mean, he plays in a P5. He is the quarterback of a team that is expected to compete for a conference championship and a spot in the playoff. If Cam Rising's the reason that Utah gets a spot in the playoff, and if Cam Rising is the reason that Utah wins a conference championship in back-to-back years, Cam Rising should be in New York when they announce the Heisman Trophy winner in early December. He should be there. He will have earned that.
Yeah.
I don't know that happens because I think USC is going to be very good, and I think Caleb Williams is a hell of a quarterback. And I think Caleb Williams could arguably be the best quarterback in college football, and CJ Stroud, and I understand. There's a lot of people who want to lay claim, including the kid that plays for Alabama, right? I understand that. I think Cam Rising belongs in that conversation. Mm-hmm. I think Cam Rising every single week is going to solidify his candidacy as a Heisman Trophy winner. As long as he stays healthy and as long as they beat USC. Because if they lose to USC, all of this talk is for naught because they're not going to the college football playoff.
Yeah.
They're probably not even getting a New Year's Six bowl because they're probably not going to win a conference championship. And all of this goes for naught. You can go to Las Vegas. You can go to the Poughkeepsie, Miller Lite, Busch Beer, Reds Apple Ale Bowl.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean,
come on, man.
It's all well and good. It's all well and good. If they beat USC in October, look out. Because then Cam Rising has an actual shot. And I think they have a really good shot because I actually do believe that their offensive line at Utah is going to be better. They're going to be able to run the ball. I think they're going to be sneaky good deep down the field because I think their wide receivers are going to be better because nobody knows who they are.
Yep.
I think that Keithy and Kincaid have to have big years. I think their linebackers are going to be fine. They have a really stout secondary with a lot of experience. I think Utah's going to be good. I think they're going to be very good on the lines. It's Kyle Whittingham. Their line play is going to be good.
Yep.
And if it's not good, it's going to get better. Like it did last year, it will rapidly improve. And you don't have a noodle arm quitter quarterback starting for you this year.
Stop disrespecting me, bro.
So I think you're going to beat Florida. And I think you're going to beat San Diego State. And I think you're going to beat USC at home. That's the whole 9 yards right there. And if you do those things, there is no reason to believe that Cam Rising cannot be a Heisman Trophy candidate. And I know that people on Twitter mocked me for it the other day. And hey, mock me all you want. Cam Rising, until they lose to USC, is a Heisman Trophy candidate. Because that team's going to be very good. Utah, there are no easy outs on their schedule, and you wouldn't expect it to be any other way.
Yeah.
Because what are you going to get? Every single week their opponent, and I don't care who it is, every single week, their opponent's going to be like, hey, these guys took Ohio State to the limit. These guys are in the Rose Bowl. Hey, they're Pac-12 champions. Let's go. Get ready. That's what Utah has to raise the bar to.
Utah will get every team's best every single week.
Yes, they will. Yeah, absolutely they will. Greg Hawkins. I think they're waiting for the media deals to finalize and figure out where to go. If the Pac stays within $5 million of the big, then schools will probably stay put until the next round of realignment. Yeah,
we'll
that
see.
Could be. Could absolutely be. Tanner Plummer, good morning to you. Hey, guys. Tanner says, I find it hilarious how a lot of Pac-12 people, including Bob Thompson to a certain extent, are pushing a propaganda project in order to save the Pac-12. I agree with you. Yes. I actually thought that Bob Thompson was very pro Pac-12.
Yeah, and I disagree completely. I just think
if they don't keep UCLA, I don't see a way that league survives. I don't. And Bob Thompson, former president of Fox Sports, on Friday on the show, or I guess on Thursday on the show, straight up said, yeah, without UCLA, yeah, there's a route to keep them alive.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
I don't know what that looks like.
I think the Pac-12 likes themselves a lot, and I think that's the wrong place to be right now.
I think the Pac-12 overvalues their TV rights.
A lot. And
I don't see how they get $30 million even. I don't. Without making a move, I don't see how they get $30 million. If you don't have Southern California in the conference, you're not getting $30 million.
Yeah.
If you don't add, that's why I think Houston's the team that if I'm the Pac-12, I'd be all in on that. Hey, we'll give you a full share right out of the gate. Hey, we need Houston. Hey, we need San Diego. Hey, we need what's the state?
And that blue turf.
I think that's your route to survival. I truly do. Because I think it's just too much to ask. It's too much to ask to believe that they can that they can survive. All right, Greg Hawkins says, you can tell Kalani has altered BYU's identity to look more like Utah, and that's why Cam and Jaren have such similar skill sets. Totally agree. I think Kalani Sitake, not to look more like Utah, I think to look more like, a major, powerful college football program.
Hey, look here, man.
I think that's what he's done. BYU is going to be very good. And I don't see any reason Jaren Hall, other than the fact that he can't stay on the field, if Jaren Hall stays healthy, they're going to win.
Other than the fact that he can't stay on the field, it's fine.
Besides that little detail,
I'll drop that motherfucker.
they're going to win big games. They're going to. And again, Baylor's in Provo this year. How nice is a Baylor win early in the season?
Yes.
Right? You think about that stuff. You can't tell me they're going to go to Oregon and get their doors blown off. That's a program in transition. Kalani's going to be ready. You can't tell me they're going to Oregon and getting their doors blown off. I don't see that happening. They have a very good chance to win that game.
Don't lie to me.
Now, it's September 17th, and the real ball breaker is that your bye week isn't until November because you're not getting any rest. And that offensive line has to stay healthy because you have a kid in the backfield you're going to hand the ball to, and you're going to be able to count on that kid. I think they're going to be very good. And if he stays healthy, Jaren Hall is a kid that could be in New York with Cam Rising.
Yeah.
Now, the chances of them both being there are slim and none, and both slim and none just walked out the door.
That's it, Skippy.
There is no reason, and I hate playing BYU off against Utah and vice versa.
Right.
There's no reason to believe that Jaren Hall can't have one of the best seasons in college football.
Yeah, he's got to make better choices. That's all it is. If you stay on the field, you execute, you're going to be fine.
Stay out of contact, man. Stay out of contact. Ken Williams. It's all about viewers. What hurts Utah is basketball. They just suck, and I'm not sure how they fix it. Maybe it's getting into the Big 12 conference will help with respect and recruiting better talent. What is BYU? That's the problem in Utah. This is a great state for basketball at Duke, right? This is a great state for basketball when the kid actually stays local, right? When Lone Peak actually stays local. The problem is too many kids get away.
Yeah.
Basketball, it's not like BYU's been otherworldly in basketball. I mean, let's be honest about it. Utah's been really bad, but Utah and BYU have to be better at basketball. It's not a vital revenue generator necessarily, but it certainly is nice to add NCAA tournaments to your resume.
Yes.
And BYU has had far more success recently than Utah. There's no doubt about that. We need to get back to the days of the Jimmer. Right? We need to get back to the days of the JIMMER.
That's right.
We need to get back to the excitement of the tournament. Yes. Yeah, we need to get back to those days. We need to get back to the Van Horns and the Millers, and we need to get back to the Sean Bradleys. We need that kind of development locally. We need to pipeline the talent in the state of Utah to stay in the state of Utah, especially in basketball, because it's exceptionally difficult. And when you're in the WCC, okay, cool. When you're in the Pac-12, that's an athletic conference. I mean, now it's not a great basketball conference, but are you ever going to out-recruit Arizona? Are you ever going to out-recruit UCLA until UCLA's in the Big Ten? Probably not, right? You're not. Oregon has had some sneaky success. I don't know if you noticed, but one of the best three-point shooters ever went to Oregon State, right? I mean, you have to at some point take that step up if you're Utah basketball, because there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
There's no reason for Utah basketball to struggle. There's not. You have a really good coach. You have really good infrastructure. I think Harlan's an excellent athletic director.
Got to recruit, man.
There's just no reason for it. Now, again, both these programs are kind of in flux. You're going from, a guy like Coach K left you in a terrible, Larry Kraskowiak left you in a terrible place. But you look at Dave Rose and that transition, and you got to get better now. You got to get better now. That's really what it comes down to. Rand says basketball at least is more level than football. Well, that's true. Greg Hawkins says basketball doesn't move the money needle, though, except for 1 month a year. I totally agree with that. Football's the moneymaker. Yes, it is, Rance. I would agree with that. Rance says Utah schools could end up like Nebraska CU in 4 or 5 years. NIL portal stuff. Well, listen, I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what Utah's doing NIL-wise. It is so frustrating to try and figure out how to reach Utah players for NIL deals.
Yeah.
It is incredibly frustrating. Like for BYU with Coug Connect and like all of the programs working at BYU, easy to do NIL deals with BYU players.
Right.
It's damn near impossible at Utah. Like, forget it. It is damn near impossible at Utah to do anything of that's productive even.
Well, and it's like they think that NIL doesn't exist on a certain level. You know, I mean, it is literally like, hey, we're going to make it super difficult to do anything, and our players are not readily available. Cool. Well, I got news for you. Little brother down south, team down south, BYU makes it very easy. And so then when later this year, when things start moving and, you know, you see more BYU players doing stuff, you're a Utah fan, you're like, hey, what the hell is happening? Well, that's what's happening.
Why is there a bias to BYU?
Yeah, and it's like, no, dude, there's not a bias.
Well, it's because of things like, but with all due respect, like guys like Coug Connect and that group of people are actively out doing things. They're like actively out communicating and they're creating content. Like who's the NIL people at who's the group of NIL boosters supporting Utah? There's not one. There's not one. There's not. And it's damn near impossible. I don't understand the Utah NIL thing. I got to be honest with you.
How is Britton Covey the only one who ever did anything?
I don't understand. And listen, the Built Bar deal is not what I'm talking about. The Built Bar deal is spectacular and scholarship money, spectacular deal. But what is Utah doing? Somebody explain to me how there is such an imbalance in NIL effort, money, results from ton to TDS. That's Team Up North.
See what he did there? So
Team.
So TUN, Team Up North, and then TDS is Team Down South. You see how that kind of comes together and everything? He did a really good job, like with the abbreviations and in the proper nomenclature here.
Nomenclature.
Yeah, the proper nomenclature.
Because
Team Up North and Team Down South.
I would love to understand why Utah is struggling with NIL. Because honestly, I don't understand it. And I'll just, because they've been great to deal with. The guys at Coug Connect have been fabulous to deal with. They do a great job. They really are. I mean, they're out in front of it. They're on the forefront. They are setting precedent for NIL. Like Coug Connect is doing everything that you want to be doing. And nobody at Utah is doing anything close to what Coug Connect or anybody else at BYU is doing.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, and it's frustrating. Honestly, it's frustrating because it would be great to get.
It's amazing to me.
The Dalton Kincaids of the world. You know, the Keiths
Cam Rising.
Cam Rising. You know, like any of these guys. But Utah just makes it difficult. So.
And the thing that is, well, I don't even know that Utah makes it difficult. There's not an alumni pipeline of effort and energy at Utah.
But that's my point. Like it may not be. So when I say Utah is making it difficult, I don't mean that, you know, the AD at Utah is like intentionally making NIL difficult. That's not what's happening. It's quite the opposite. So in NIL land, you know, the school can't really even be involved if that makes sense. You have to go and read on it and everything. But the point is that the way it works properly is you have a group of people, boosters, or
you have an alumni program.
Yeah.
You have people in your alumni base that are out willing and able, working to further the cause of the current players and athletes at your institution.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, Notre Dame's NIL stuff, out of this world. USC's NIL stuff, out of this world.
Fight on!
Oregon's NIL stuff, out of this world. How on earth is Utah they're not behind the curve. Don't get me wrong. They're not behind the curve. They don't know where the curve is on NIL. Like, I'm being serious. Like, you're not behind the curve. You don't even know what the curve is at Utah on NIL. And it's shocking to me. You're doing all of these great things educationally, facilities-wise. You have all of these alumni, and Ute alumni are fantastic.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Unless it's NIL.
Yeah.
How is there not a group that are not promoting current players in the community at Utah? It's stunning.
Yeah.
As somebody, and I can tell you, one of the things we've tried to do is we have tried to connect with Utah players to make them money through our partnerships and have them on our show. Haven't gotten a phone call back. Haven't gotten a text message back. Haven't gotten an email back. We have ad partners wanting to attach to Utah football players. Can't get a phone call. Can't get a contact number. Nothing.
No, I guess not.
Nothing. At BYU, like, it's an avalanche. Hey, what about this guy? Hey, what about that guy? Hey, like the guys at Coug Connect. Oh, yeah, sure. Like, you call those guys one time. One time, done. Done. Great communication, easy process, great. Hey, like,
my mind is blown.
What are you looking for? Hey, this
Not
is what
rocket science.
Like, and the conversations are easy. The conversation, it's all about taking care of the player. Hey, well, XYZ, like, at Utah? I'm like, at Utah, in all seriousness, you know what you get? Crickets. Bro, that's what you get at Utah. You get crickets. And so the kids on the team, in football and basketball specifically, what do they get? Not what they should be getting. Because I can tell you they're lined up down the block at BYU.
Yeah.
And there's no line at Utah because you just can't communicate with them.
Yep.
It's crazy. Let's see. Rena Rocha says Texas Tech NIL is out of this world. Yeah, agree. Kay Nurin says BYU football is going to beat Utah every day of the year. Well, and I think it is. And one of the things that I think as we talk NIL, BYU, and Utah here on the Monty Show is that you actually have local BYU alumni.
Yeah.
Like Silicon Slopes is stocked with them everywhere. Like, you have former players that stay here and live in the community and grow their families, and
Yes.
they're involved in the church and they're involved in enterprise. And you don't have that with Utah. You don't have a big alumni base in the community. And I think this is where the fruits of that happens. This is where the fruits of this comes to pass.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. Let's see. Renee Roca says, if Utah continues to be an NIL black hole, they're done. Kids will go to programs working the game. Oh, there's no doubt about that. That's why BYU, with the Built Bar deal, and I give Built Bar a lot of credit, they really stepped up.
Yeah.
And they really, paying, there's not a kid that's got to worry about paying for his school on the BYU football team. All the walk-ons are taken care of. Like, that's great. And that's all through Built Bar. That's all through NIL. Like, that makes a difference when you're talking about recruiting. Greg Hawkins says, BYU taking advantage of NIL makes sense, though. They've had to figure out their own way for the past 10 years. The donor pipeline is there partially because they weren't getting conference money. Well, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point. But
Yeah.
I respectfully, I just think it doesn't alleviate the fact that Utah is just dropping the ball. Utah just, again, with all due respect, I'm not trying to hate, but you're in a time when NIL is a massive contributor to, like, getting players in your program. Like, it's a massive contributor to your relevance, and you're getting your ass handed to you by BYU. With all due respect to BYU, man.
Well, it's not optional.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, and this is what we've learned through the transfer portal, and what we've learned through NIL deals is the two work together. So if you have BYU and Utah sitting next to each other, and Jimmy, the transfer kid, is like, hey, want to play running back?
Jimmy from Poughkeepsie.
Well, honest to goodness, that happens every day. Kids in the portal wants to come to Utah, but BYU has a much better NIL pipeline.
All gas, no brake.
Now what? Well, the kid's going to get more money and have more opportunities at BYU.
Which is going to allow him to go further in his football career and have a better time.
And after football, because let's be honest, 99% of these kids are never going to wear a helmet on Sunday, right? There's got to be life outside of that. And there's got to be what they're passionate about. Your enterprise, the internship opportunities at BYU are far and away better than the internship opportunities at Utah, which is crazy. Crazy, but it's absolutely true. And that's why, like, the whole Silicon Slopes thing, absolutely it matters. It absolutely matters because that gives you opportunity to earn money. You have BYU alumni that are at Adobe. You have BYU alumni that are at Vivint and like all these huge tech companies that are down south of the mountain.
Again, TDS.
Thank you. Thank you.
Proper nomenclature.
Team down Silicon Slopes, right?
Right.
Well, but that makes a huge difference. So you have all these opportunities and you have all this money flowing through BYU through alumni and NIL deals.
Yes.
Now you can't just look past that. And now if you're a kid in the transfer portal, or if you are a, think about the names locally of late, like the Bartons or Zach Wilson, for instance. Like if you look at those kids, the choices are different now. If you're a Kafusi, you can play at BYU or you can play at Utah. Or if you're one of those local names, you're a legacy kid, it's not as simple as, well, my brother played at Utah, so I'm going to go play at Utah. Or my brother played at BYU, so I'm going to go play at BYU. If your dream ultimately is to be a lawyer, well, maybe you're going X. If your dream is to be a titan of business, maybe you're going Y. Maybe you want that Marriott School of Business.
Yes.
And maybe you want to end up ultimately at Adobe. So you're going to go to BYU. See, like it's not that simple anymore.
Yes.
So when you look at these NIL deals and you look at guys like Coug Connect, again, just because we have dealt with them and we know them.
Yeah.
They're really easy to deal with.
Yeah, and that's how it should be. And that's why I was disappointing that there is no Ute Connect, if you will, or whatever you'd call it. Like there's no program for it. It sucks.
It's really surprising. All right, a couple more on this because I do. By the way, while we're sitting here chatting about this, I would love to hear your thoughts on, hey, BYU versus Utah, Jaren Hall. Is Jaren Hall a legitimate Heisman Trophy candidate? It is I think Cam Rising without a doubt. But I will tell you, as we compare Cam and Jaren, I think the factor of Jaren Hall being an unknown is both a help and a hurt. It's a positive and a negative. Because I think if Jaren Hall stays healthy, you're going to see what that kid's really capable of. He's a year older now. He's more mature. He's more physically able. His body looks different. Like he's a kid that looks like he's ready to have a season. And that's all it takes is one season. So I'm curious to get your thoughts, what you guys think. All right, Greg Hawkins says, yeah, we need to do something like that at Utah. Rennie Roca, what did you say? I contribute to a Texas Tech alumni fan and NIL program. We just gave all football players $25K a year. Almost every women's basketball player $25K a year at Texas Tech. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Crazy.
That's what I'm saying. It's inexcusable. It's almost reprehensible that you wouldn't have an NIL program.
Yeah. Steve Peterson says with Utah no longer having the P5 advantage and add the NIL deal, BYU will be getting the LDS kids that are good and would have normally gone to Utah. Well, and I think, the church is interesting. This scandal in the church that broke over the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of talk about how that will impact, the relationship with the church and how that will, how will that impact, a kid's allegiance to BYU because he's in the church or, now maybe he's falling away from, like, the church is such an amoeba, like it's constantly changing and evolving. The relationship and the strength of the church in the community, the relationship with the scouts, like all this stuff that changes with the church, it absolutely impacts BYU's ultimate fate with basketball and football players.
God bless.
And it's going to be interesting to see. Let's have this conversation in 3 years and then in 5 years, and let's see how all of these changes that we're seeing in the church
Oh, boy.
impact. What's the matter?
Oh, they're back, bro. They're
No, the bots are in the chat.
I'm Shiva, the god of death.
The bots are in. And you know what I've noticed about the bots?
Yeah.
The bots are evolving.
How do you
Because
mean?
now the bots are showing up with different names.
Oh.
Like they'll change their names by one letter.
Uh-huh.
And then all of a sudden, the bot is,
Yeah, it's Jimmy the Moron. That's the bot's name.
Yeah, we'll hide the user from the channel. How about
Yeah.
that? Anyway, pay attention to how these church issues impact, because in the state of Utah, whether you know it or not, the church obviously plays a big role. And when you go and serve a mission and you're a Utah recruit that's going to serve a mission, miraculously you become a BYU football player. I think it's an interesting conversation. Let's see. Mike Pressler tips us $2. Thanks, Mike. He says Utah admin still has the little brother mindset.
Yes.
I think do you think Utah fan respects BYU more now?
No.
You
No.
don't.
I think Utah fan likes themselves some Utah just the same way Pac-12, Commissioner George Klavkoff likes the Pac-12 a lot, and I think that's holding them back.
Yeah, I think Utah has to have more. The level of respect has to go up.
And the
if
arrogance
you're
has to
Utah.
go down.
And it does, because I think the thing that we see happening in this, I think this is a perfect comment that you're seeing on the screen below. I think when you look at this comment right there.
Yeah,
Look
one.
at that comment right there. The thing that's so interesting is, I actually think that's very true. I think that BYU has so quietly snuck up, and the rivalry game has played a big role in this. Oh, 10 years in a row, screw them, Coug my mom, whatever.
They win one game and they all of a sudden think they're better than us.
Well, now all of a sudden you're trying to get into the Big 12, and they're already in the Big 12. And now all of a sudden, Jaren Hall is a Heisman Trophy candidate, and your guys, Cam Rising, was supposed to be, but it's funny how the change so slowly creeps up. When you keep putting your foot on the neck of TDS,
Uh-huh.
and all of a sudden their neck's too big for your foot,
Uh-huh.
now you got to just ask yourself, okay, well, now we lost to them.
What
And
now? Let me tell you what now.
they're going into the Big 12, and they've got more NIL than we do, and look at the transfer portal. Who had the best transfer portal? Well, I mean, obviously, you get a big win from Oregon. You get a big win from Florida. One each. Well, now it's actually even. I'm just telling you.
Can't stand pat and think you're going to do anything.
BYU is slowly creeping up. And all of a sudden, you need the Big 12 a little bit. And I know that's a kick in the cojones.
The cojones.
It is what it is. Greg Hawkins says, Monty and Jake, BYU fans confirmed. Yeah, you know us.
Yeah, Greg, you know us,
I'm
bro.
drinking a blue Kool-Aid.
Yeah, just buy the gallons, bro.
I don't know. This is probably not the right color of BYU blue. But
BYU Blue on the Monty Show.
And then I spilled Kool-Aid all over my shirt.
Wow. How does it feel?
I don't know. I'm kidding. Let's see. Austin Napierski says Utah hates BYU and BYU hates Utah. LMAO.
Correct.
They do. Steve Peterson says, Mike Pressler, I don't think it's a little brother mindset. It's arrogance. It's the same arrogance BYU had when Utah went P5. But did BYU have arrogance, or did BYU just see it more clearly? That's a good question. Think about that. Oh, well, we're not going to go to the Mountain West. We're going to go independent because we're arrogant.
Because we're arrogant.
Or maybe Tom Hummel just knew something that nobody else knew and recognized something. Maybe he was an innovator and went independent for 10 years and kicked ass and had unbelievable scheduling and had unbelievable relationships and made unbelievable money. And, oh, by the way, there was that little ESPN deal thing that they did that, was a huge success.
Who the f*** is that guy?
So was it arrogance, or was it, hey, we're going to go independent?
Yeah.
And we see a path forward. Because I don't think you can question a single decision that was made about being independent. I don't think it was arrogant. I just think that it was vision. It was vision. I probably am too respectful of Tom Homo, but I think that guy has just absolutely reinvented the wheel in college football revenue making.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see what they do. How does BYU continue to evolve NIL? Because let's be honest, NIL right now is the Wild West.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
It's got to be streamlined. Kay Nurin says Zach takes off, has a great year. I think he could. The Jets. Did you see that one-hand catch he made? Or the video of the one?
Yes, one-handed catch for Zach Wilson.
What's the matter?
Dude, like, eventually we have to stop being like, oh, this kid's going to have a great year because he made a one-handed catch on the sideline on BYU radio. Like, come on, dude. Like, the guy, Zach, has a lot of potential. Zach can be a very good quarterback in this league, but he plays for the Jets. And when you play for a crappy organization that's crappy at footballing and hasn't been relevant in 10 years, it's going to be a challenge. And that's why I say, like, let's not expect this kid to just carry them to the postseason. I do think he's going to be better. I do think his body is in way better shape. He lifted a ton of weights over the offseason. He's clearly put on some muscle, and I think that's going to help him. And I look forward to what he can do. But the one-handed catch thing, it's a prime, BYU gimmicky thing to roll out there. Oh, well, he made that one-handed catch at Jets practice. Look how good he's going to be this year. Literally nothing to do with being a quarterback.
Well, but he's also looked really good in training camp. I mean, I will agree with that. I mean,
yeah,
you don't think he has?
Yes, he's looked okay. I'm not going to sit here and say the kid's looked amazing. Like, this is very simple. Hey, week 1, come out and stop throwing interceptions. Like, come out and show me that you're a better decision maker. This is the same thing I say about Jaren Hall. Dude, come out and show me that you're not going to try and run over a 250-pound linebacker who's ready to eat you for lunch.
Jake,
like,
who hurt you?
Nobody.
You seem...
Nobody, but I'm just telling you, I'm not going to give Zach Wilson the benefit of the doubt. I'm tired of hearing about your mom and her friend and that you have that dog in you. I want to see that you can throw it 65 yards down the field.
She had his prairie dog.
Yes.
You know. I think Zach Wilson's prime for a big season. Now, you're right. He's got to go out and throw the football and have a big season. But I don't know. Everything seems to be breaking right for BYU. Like, I don't know.
It's all convenient.
The football program at BYU is in a really good spot. The Christopher Brooks win was, I mean, Tyler Algier went on to the NFL. Let's go get Cal football's best player. Like,
I saw it.
Like, are you kidding? Like, everything they touch turns to gold right now.
Yeah.
And you're hating. I don't understand it.
Is what it is, bro.
Steve Peterson says, sorry, I meant along the lines of Bronco not going after talented kids, not independents. Bronco was like, the kids are LDS. They're coming here and didn't do anything to get them. Well, that's true. That's very true. Brian Clegg, good morning, too. He says, hey, y'all, good morning. I actually made tail end of the broadcast on my day off. Anyways, I'm pretty impressed with myself about it. Well,
attaboy.
Brian, congratulations.
Attaboy.
Congratulations. I am proud of you.
I love that show.
You know. People think Zach Wilson's going to go wild because he made the biggest offseason move in BYU history.
Wow.
See,
bro. Wow.
He ain't wrong. By the way, did anybody see Lisa Wilson's eyebrows on her Instagram? Like, I can't. Women and eyebrows are a problem for me. Dude! Yeah, like, with all due respect, I don't understand this whole paint your eyebrows on your face and let's just act normal thing. Like, aren't you the Joker at that point? If you're taking paint, like...
Oh, my God, dude.
I've never understood eyebrows. And now...
Where's the Italian?
Now, I got to tell you, as an Italian...
Yeah.
As I am wanting to be, I'm Italian and Irish and stuff. As an Italian, I have quite the bushy eyebrow that I actually, yes, I do. I pluck my eyebrows. I will never paint my eyebrows. I'm not doing it.
I just thought that you would appreciate me treating you like an adult.
No, I'm not. Don't paint your eyebrows on your face.
The ink isn't dry yet.
Listen to me. Listen.
Linda.
Lisa.
Lisa. Lisa.
I need to give Lisa Wilson some beauty tips. Her and she won't come on the show, by the way. I think I told you that last week. Her and I were texting on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
She won't come on the show. She's like, nah, bro.
They texted.
Maybe she's learned her lesson. But first of all, am I the only guy that plucks their eyebrows? Do you pluck your eyebrows?
No, idiot.
What?
No. What are you doing with your life?
Anyway, it is what it is. All I'm saying is, You can't paint your eyebrows. Anyway.
I just your best point was she paints her eyebrows like black, right?
Yeah.
And then goes on Instagram and does her little hit and just plays it off totally normal. Nothing has happened.
Now we gotta. Should I just screen record this or?
It won't work because you got that won't work.
What won't work?
The screen record thing.
Why?
Because we got to change it to MP4. Can't be. That's movie. Sorry, bud.
Damn it. At some point, maybe we can.
Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow. It's fine. We don't have technology,
bro. But she
maybe
looks like she
NIL
used
deal.
a Sharpie, bro.
It does. It's weird. And Lisa Wilson is usually quite the cat's meow. Like she usually is a well put together girl. And goddamn, like today she like got on the Instagram and was like, whoa. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix, is that you? Like,
What's up, motherfuckers?